right, players, let's see if you are paying attention. In the News 2000, 40 years after a famous incident, he was awarded a Distinguished Flying Cross, Prisoner of War Medal, and National Defense Service Medal posthumously. 30 seconds. Good luck. David, you could remain champion, but first you must come up with the correct response, I believe. Let's take a look. Who is Francis Gary Powers? You're absolutely right, yes. And your wager was nothing. I see. Let's go to Regina now. Did she come up with Francis Gary Powers? She gave it a great deal of thought, and she came up with Powers, and I assume you didn't mean Shorty Powers, so we're accepting that. And oh boy, you double your score, 10,200, putting you in the lead as we come to Brad Rutter. Did he come up with Powers? Yes, and his wager, 2,401, taking him to 10,201, and he becomes the new champ. Margin is small, but that's all right. We'll see you tomorrow, Brad.
Final Jeopardy category as we wrap up the week, rich and famous, and here comes the clue. Worth magazine says with 1.7 million ranch land acres in 5 states, this mogul is the USA's largest private landowner. 30 seconds, players. Good luck. We had a whole category on sailing a little while ago, and he was a world-famous sailor before he went into other things. Let's start down there with Lawrence. Did you come up with the mogul's name?
No.
You picked Ross Perot? No, sorry. $999. All right, that'll leave you with 101. Let's go to Jim Holton now. 2,500 going into final. And he selected George Lucas. No, that too is incorrect. Cost you just 100. You're at 2,400 as we come to Brad, leading with 13,100. His response was, who is Buffett?
Warren Buffett.
That too is incorrect. And you're saying thanks to Miss
Clauser, my Quiz Bowl coach who died recently.
Ah, Miss Clauser. Well, Ted Turner. Ted Turner. Well, you haven't wagered much in the finals before, but today you made an exception. $8,000 is what you lose. You wind up with 5,100, but you're still the winner and a 5-day champion with $55,102. Come on over here, Brad. You get to come back to compete again, and you win your choice of those automobiles. Have you made a selection?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the twin Camaros.
All right, Johnny, tell them about them.
Well, congratulations, Brad. As a 5-time undefeated Jeopardy champion, you've won a pair of Chevy Camaros, the 2000 Chevy Camaro Coupe and Convertible, each featuring a V6 engine with more horsepower and torque than Mustang, provided by Chevrolet. We'll be there.
We'll look for you in the Tournament of Champions. Congratulations. Gentlemen, good game. Thank you all. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning us in. Come back and see us next week, won't you? So long.
This contest is so close. Unlike recent years, I have a feeling each of our contestants is playing to win, not to pick up a lot of cash for second or third place. Let's see how it works out with U.S. presidents as the category. The clue is Washington was the one who added these 4 words to the presidential oath. They are not in the Constitution. Tad, you were in third place today and also in third place yesterday. You had 6,800, and you came up with, what are, so help me God? You are right. Your wager? Ah, nothing. So we add that to yesterday's total of 1,300. That gives you a 2-day total of 8,100. Let's go down to Rick Knutson. He has 8,300 today. He's shaking his head. Did he pick In God We Trust? No. Preserve, protect, and defend. Incorrect. His wager, 3,601, dropping him to 4,699, and we add the 3,000 from yesterday. That takes you to 7,699. And we come to Brad. Brad is feeling pretty good, folks. Why is that? Because he came up with the correct response, and he risked 7,801, giving him today 17,101, 2,500 yesterday, 19,601, but no, it's $100,000. Come on over here, Brad. Congratulations. Well done. $100,000 for this man. Rick, Tad, come on over also. What a final. Great job.
Category is Pulitzer Prize-winning books. Here comes the clue. One of its title studies is Senator Edmund Ross's 1868 vote against convicting President Andrew Johnson. We come to Brad Rutter, was in second place with 19,600. His response, correct also. His wager, oh boy, everything. He's in the lead. 39,200. Leslie Frates, you have 20,400. You were leading. Did you get profiles in courage?
Yes.
You did. And your wager.
Can I change it?
Oh, no, sorry. Brad Rutter, come here. Congratulations. You did it. You're a semifinalist. Leslie in India, good game. Boy. It's going to be just as exciting tomorrow, I'm sure, so join us then, the last of our semifinals. Take care, everybody. I sure hope our players boned up on American history. Vice Presidents is the category for this deciding Final Jeopardy. Here comes the clue. He was the only vice president to be elected to and serve 2 full terms as president. Bob, you won a lot of fans here with that gutsy move on that daily double. Let's take a look and see if you were able to come up with the Final Jeopardy response. Who was Thomas Jefferson? Yeah, you're right.
Oh, is it?
It is. You double your score to 800. We add that to what he had yesterday, and that gives him a 2-day total of 7,600. Eric, you had 12,800 today, and your response was correct also. How much did you wager? Everything. You moved to 25,600. Brad was leading yesterday, and he was leading going into final again today. Did he come up with Thomas Jefferson?
In very bad handwriting.
Very bad handwriting. You had to risk enough. 201. That takes 13,801 today. When you add that to 11,800, the margin is $1, but it makes you a millionaire.
Oh my God.
Enjoy the moment, Brad.
Oh, congratulations, guys.
Eric Newhouse will receive 100,000, Bob Verini 50,000. And this man gets $1 million. Hey, look at your cheering section with the T-shirt. Great, great performance. Is that Mom and Dad? You deserve it. You played so very well. Leading yesterday and again today. That's it for the $1 Million Masters Invitation. A very special Jeopardy tomorrow. Do join us for that one. So long, everybody. We are dealing with the 2000 Olympics. Let's see what the clue is. She's the first female track and field athlete to win medals in 5 different events at a single Olympics. 30 seconds. Good luck. And she's still going strong. Jerry Harvey, we start with you. What did you put down? Which athlete did you think of? Marion Jones, you are correct. And you add $1. You go to 7,401. Let's go to Julia Lazarus. Did she come up with Marion Jones? She's shaking her head. Why? She was going for somebody else, and I can't figure out who. Gail?
I can't figure out who either.
Oh, but somebody named Gail. Every girl named Gail watching the program today is going to be very happy. You lost $37.99. That drops you down to $14,801. Let's go to Ken Jennings. And even 20 grand going into final. Who is Jones? And we will accept that in terms of female athletes. There aren't that many. And you've got $17,201 more for a $37,201 total. And you become the Jeopardy champion. Great game, players. Thank you so much. We'll see you again next time. So long. Headlines of the last 40 years. Test your memory. Here's the clue. The first 2 New York Times headlines set in 96-point type were in these 2 years, 5 years apart. Max, one of those years came to you at the very last moment. Let's see what you wrote down. What are... Ooh.
It's supposed to say, it's not even 5 years. It's supposed to say 69 and 74, but that's as close as I could get.
As close as you can get, but we can't read it, so we can't rely on what you're saying. So you lose the 1,400. Let's go to Irene Lawrence now, and she wrote down what are 1964 and 1968. Wrong, and it'll cost you 3,600. Now we go to Ken Jennings, had 46,000. What did he write down? What are 1996 and 2001? No, Max Korek was on the right track. Men Walk on the Moon, that was 1969. Nixon Resigns, 1974. It will cost our champion how much? 14,000, which means he earns 32,000 today. But guess what, folks? He now has $4,960. And he gets to play again. See you all next time. The category is Shakespeare, and here is the clue. 2 of the 4 Shakespeare plays in which ghosts appear on stage. 30 seconds, good luck. Christine, dancing to our music. I love it.
My 2-year-old son does it, so I have to do it too.
Good for you. What did you put down as your response to our clue? What are Hamlet and King Lear? Oh, darn. Sorry. One of them is right, one is wrong, and so your response is not good, and you lose $3,000 as a result. Let's go to the middle. Sarah, 5,600. Hamlet and Titus Andronicus. Sorry, not good. 4,400 your wager, dropping you to 1,200. Let's go to Ken Jennings. 2 of the 4 Shakespeare plays. Hamlet, and he put down Richard III. Hamlet is correct. Julius Caesar is correct. Macbeth is correct. And Richard III is correct.
You're killing me, Alex.
I know, but you're killing us. Look what you won. 23,675,000, a new one-day record, and now a total of $1,321,660. Will it never end for this talented young man? You'll have to wait a while to find out. We'll bring him back to start off our next season. Meanwhile, next week, we begin with some of the highlights of our good tournament from this past season. Hope you'll be watching. So long, everybody. Less than a minute now.
Tool time for 200.
This term for a long-handled gardening tool can also mean an immoral pleasure seeker. Ken?
What's a hoe?
No. Whoa! 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 They teach you that in school in Utah, huh? Al?
What's a rake?
A rake is right. Historic firsts. You folks are about to witness a historic first. But first, a lot of repetition there. This clue. The brother of this leader is believed to be the first known European to have died in the Americas. 30 seconds, good luck. It happened around 1007 A.D. Let's start with Jennifer and see if she was able to come up with the name of the famous individual. Who was Penn? Oh, a lot later. And it cost you $5,000, dropping you to $600. Let's go to Nathan Gordon now. Started off very well, played strongly, and he picked Columbus. Nope, that too is incorrect, and it cost you just $2.99. Let's go to Ken Jennings now. Had $27,200, and he picked Leif Erikson. The person who died was his brother, Torvald. So you're right. Your wager, $2,800. $30,000 today, and now a total of $2,006,300. Royalty. And here comes the clue. This king was the great-grandfather of France's King Louis XV. 30 seconds. Good luck. Denise, we start with you. Which royalty person did you think of? Who is Louis XIV, the Sun King? You are correct. Your wager, $2,201. You move up to $6,001. Let's go to Rob Perry now. $6,800. Henry VIII, wrong.
I'm afraid so.
$3,801 is what it cost you. You drop down to $2,999. Let's go to Ken Jennings. He was nodding approval when he looked over at Denise's response, and I guess that's because he put down the same thing. He has $74.99 and a total of $45,099 today. And now, the new all-time record, $2,197,000. Whoa, way to go, Ken. The category is business and industry, and here is the clue, ladies and gentlemen. Most of this firm's 70,000 seasonal white-collar employees work only 4 months a year. 30 seconds. Good luck. Nancy, you wrote down your response rather quickly, I thought. I hope it's correct. Let's take a look.
So too.
What is H&R Block? You're right. Your wager, $4,401, taking you up to $14,401. You have a $1 lead over Ken Jennings right now. And his final response was FedEx. His wager was $56.01. He winds up in second place with $87.99. And Nancy Zerg
Congratulations, you are indeed a giant killer. Our new Jeopardy champion, 14,401. Ken, take a look at the audience. The audience is paying tribute to not only Nancy, but to you as well. All good things have to come to an end, don't they? Well, too bad for Ken, but he's going home with a lot of money. $2.5 million. Congratulations, young man. Nancy will be back tomorrow to defend for the first time. We will see her, 2 new players, and you then. So long, everybody.
Alex?
Welcome back. A sense of relief, maybe?
A little bit. It's all been very overwhelming.
Do you know exactly how much you won over the past few months?
I don't. I think it starts with a 2.
$2,520,000 and change. Plus, even better news, you picked up $2,000 for finishing in second place on yesterday's show. What are you going to take away from your experience as our champion over these many weeks and months?
It's been a great time. You know, it's the kind of thing that only comes along once in a lifetime, and I've just tried to enjoy every minute of it. I really have had a very happy life, and I hope nothing really changes. I just want to stay the same person I am, despite it all.
You were an excellent player. You caught some good breaks, and because of that combination, I'm going to say that your record of winning 74 games and $2.5 million, setting records in game shows, quiz shows, whatever, I don't think it'll ever be broken. And I want to wish you good luck on behalf of all of your fans out here.
Thanks,
you
Alex.
take care.
My pleasure.
Bye. Final Jeopardy category is 20th century Americans. Here's the clue, gentlemen. These names of 2 original Mercury astronauts who orbited Earth in May of 1962 and May of 63 are also occupations. 30 seconds. Jerome, we start with you. You were in 3rd place today with 8,300. You came up with carpenter and shepherd. Sorry, that response is incorrect, and it will cost you how much? 7,300, taking you down to 1,000. Your previous total was 19,600, so you now have 20,600. Let's go to Ken Jennings. His response. Who are Cooper and Shepard? Go Brad. No. Alan Shepard did not orbit the Earth, remember? He just went down the Atlantic. That will cost you how much? 801, leaving you with 8,599 today. We add that to your previous total of 26,000, and that gives you a 3-day total of $34,599. And now we come to Brad Rutter, who are Carpenter and Cooper.
And I'll say, go Ken and go Jerome.
Go Ken and go Jerome. It was a great match. You didn't have to risk anything. You didn't. 23,600 added to your 38,000, 62,000 your total. That gets bumped up to $2 million. Congratulations.
Nice playing, fellas.
Brad Rutter. Now the biggest quiz or game show money winner in television history. And Ken is still up there too. He's the number 2. Way to go.
Thanks.
Ken, Jerome, we applaud you. A marvelous, marvelous tournament and a great finish. We'll see you all on our next show, regular game. Our 3 players have made their wagers. The category is 19th century novelists, and here is the clue. William Wilkinson's An Account of the Principalities of Wallachia and Moldavia inspired this author's most famous novel. 30 seconds, players. Good luck. We come to you, Brad, first. You were in 3rd place with 5,600. You came up with what? Who is Bram Stoker? You are correct, the author of Dracula. And you will do what? You'll double your score to 11,200. And we add that to your total from yesterday, which was 10,400. That gives you a 2-day total of 21,600. Over to Ken Jennings now, 18,200 going in. Bram Stoker is what we're looking for, and we find who is Stoker. I, for one, welcome our new computer overlord. And your wager? The wager was $1,000. That takes you up to 19,200. Yesterday wasn't so good for you. You had 4,800. That gives you a 2-day total of 24,000. Now we come to Watson. We're looking for Bram Stoker, and we find who is Bram Stoker and the wager. Hello, 17,973, 41,413, and a 2-day total of 77,147. And that means, ladies and gentlemen, that World Vision and the World Community Grid, 2 very worthwhile charities, are each going to benefit with $500,000
$100,000. Thanks to Watson. This is a tough one, but it's worth $1 million. Secretaries of State is the category. Here is the clue, ladies and gentlemen. Serving 160 years apart, these two Secretaries of State are the only ones who never married. 30 seconds. Good luck. Roger, as you indicated during the commercial break, there was no pressure on you. You know where you're going to finish. You had $2,000. Let's see if you added to it or you lost some of it. Who are Rice and Buchanan? Great game, guys. You are correct. Condoleezza Rice and President Buchanan. And you will add 2,000, and that bumps you up to 4,000. It takes us to Brad Rutter. What was his response? Buchanan and Rice. He is correct. What was his wager? Nothing. So he picks up 11,800 today. Yesterday he had 10,000. That puts him in the lead with 21,800. Ken Jennings, it's up to you now. We need a correct response for $1 million. And we don't have it, and it doesn't matter because you can't acquire enough money. You're going to lose 13,001. Brad Rutter, congratulations. You're the $1 million winner again. Again. What's still the biggest money winner on Jeopardy?
Are you kidding?
You got it. And Roger and Ken, fantastic finals. Thank you so much. Back to our regular shows on Monday. Thank you for being with us. So long, everybody. I have a feeling that during that commercial break, people all over America were very busy doing math. Colby, Larissa, and Matt have joined us to deal with Final Jeopardy today. The subject is constitutional amendment math. Players, here is your clue. Total of the numbers of the amendments banning state-sponsored official religion, ending slavery, and repealing prohibition. 30 seconds. Good luck. Colby Burnett, your team was in third place going into Final Jeopardy. You had 9,600. What did you come up with as a response? What is 35? It's a very significant number for those of us here at Jeopardy because this tournament was our way of celebrating our 35th anniversary. You are right. The 1st, the 13th, and the 21st Amendment. You add $7,000 today. That brings you up to 16,601. Yesterday, you had 8,000. That brings your two-day total to 24,601. 24,601.
Do you hear the people saying?
Wasn't that Jean Valjean's number in Les Miserables? Oh.
Bought a loaf of bread.
All right. Over to Matt Jackson now on Team Ken. You had 16,200 going in. You wrote down all of the required digits, and that means you're right, and you will add how much money today? Nothing. You had yesterday 32,500. That brings you up to 48,700. Now to Team Brad. Larissa, you're standing behind a figure of 34,000. Did you come up with the correct response? You did. Did you risk anything? You did not. I wonder why, folks. Because yesterday, Team Brad had 36,000. They couldn't be caught today. They are a $1 million champion. Larissa, Brad, Dave, come on up here. Congratulations, Larissa. Well done, Brad. The string is unbroken. Team Ken, they will receive $300,000. And Team Colby will share $100,000. What a tournament. What a tournament. Yes, indeed. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed it. We certainly did. We'll see you for our regular show tomorrow. We are close to home with our Final Jeopardy category today as we deal with U.S. bodies of water. Players, here's your clue. The Jordan, Bear, and Weber rivers deposit over 1 million tons of minerals into it annually. Much of that chloride and sodium. Anna, we start with you. You had the misfortune today of coming into a game against two speedy guys, two terrors. You had 1,600. You came up with the correct response, the Great Salt Lake.
and you will double your score to 3,200. Let's go to Alex Corral, our champion. He had 18,000. Impressive, but came up with the correct response. Good. Wager, 2,000. He has an even 20,000, but it won't matter because James had turned this game into a runaway. Did he get the correct response, though? He most certainly did. Happy birthday, Jack. All right. And your wager will add 3268, taking you to 43,680. That's a one-day record for recent shows on Jeopardy. We'll see how he wraps up the week with us tomorrow. Join us then. For our final today, we are dealing with a subject that sounds tough. Physics terms. Let's see how tough it is. Here is the clue, players. Ironically, it's a metaphor meaning a huge step forward, but this two-word process only occurs on a subatomic scale. 30 seconds. Good luck. Ariana, we start with you. You're in third place. What is a quantum leap? You are right. And you will add 700 only. That bumps you up to 7,100, gives you a $100 lead over Samir. Did he come up with quantum leap? He did. And did he risk more than 100? He most certainly did. 5801. He's at 12,801. 72,600 going into final for you, James. We need to find quantum leap. We do. Happy birthday, Bodger?
Booger.
Booger? Okay. And how much did you risk? 38,314. A new one-day record. 110,914. And now a four-day record of 244,365. 20th century literary characters. Interesting subject for our final today. Players, here's your clue. His first name refers to the ancient district in which you'd find the Greek capital. His surname is a bird. 30 seconds for you. Good luck. Hannah, you ran out of time, unfortunately. You gave it a lot of thought and finally started to write something, but you weren't able to. And so you're going to lose some money, maybe 4,000? Yeah, you dropped to 1,000. Let's go to Laurel. She wrote her response down rather quickly, and she wrote down the correct response. Atticus Finch, yes, To Kill a Mockingbird. You'll add 5,300. You're going to finish in second place. And over to James now. He had 71,114. He already has the top three spots, as you've heard me say before, for the most winnings on a single program. Did he come up with Atticus Finch? Yes. And this is for you, Granny. Is your grandma still alive?
No.
No. All right. You're going to add some more money. You have just set a one-day record. Again, $131,127 for a now 10-day total of $697,787. Grandma's happy. The category, as you can see, is American history. Players, here is your clue. On May 1st, 1869, these two men met at the White House 4 years and 3 weeks after a more historic meeting between them. You have 30 seconds. Good luck. Kevin, we come to you first. You had 7,800, and you came up with the correct response, who are Lee and Grant, who had met earlier at Appomattox. You almost double your score. You add 7,793, taking you to 15,593, taking us to Claudia, who had 8,400. Her response, correct also. Love you guys.
18 grandkids. Love them.
Good for you. And you will add 7,201. That takes you up to 15,601. You're going to finish in second place unless James did something really, really weird. And I don't think he would have. Did he come up with Grant and Lee? He did. And he says, high autumn. That season doesn't begin for months.
Yeah, it's not her birthday for a while either, but...
Oh, all right. What will your total be today? You're going to add 50,000. That takes you up to 118,816. And now a 14-day total of 1,061,554. The guy is amazing. Final Jeopardy category today is Around the USA. Let's see if we can narrow it down with this clue. Astronomy buffs visit Idaho for the USA's first dark sky reserve. Oddly, part of it is this resort area with a bright name. 30 seconds, players. Good luck. Susan, was this a tough one for you?
Yeah.
It was. You gave it some thought. And did you write anything down? You were unable to come up with a response. Did you risk anything? You didn't have to, of course. You're going to finish in second place. So let's go to James now. He had 39,400, and his response was Sun Valley. You wrote down Las Vegas Strip and you crossed it off. Why?
Just didn't think it was in Idaho.
Oh. Okay. And you risked 35,000. That takes you up to 74,400 and 2,065,535. Enjoy the weekend. Come back on Monday. You'll be here to defend again. So long. All right, it's time for final now, players. We're dealing with Shakespeare's time, which means we're going way back in time. Here is the clue for you. The line, "A great reckoning in a little room," in As You Like It, is usually taken to refer to this author's premature death. You have 30 seconds. Good luck. Jay, we come to you first. You started slowly, but we're coming on very strong in the Double Jeopardy round. You wound up at $11,000, which is pretty good, but in third place. And you came up with Who is Marlowe? Christopher Marlowe? You are correct, sir. And you will add 6,000. That bumps you up to 17,000. You're hoping for bad things. Incorrect responses from our champion and from Emma. Over to James now. He had 23,400, and his response was correct. His wager, a modest one for the first time. That takes him to 24,799. So Emma, it's up to you. If you came up with a correct response, you're going to be the new Jeopardy champion. Did you? You did. What did you wager? Oh gosh, 20,000. What a payday. 46,801. What a game. Oh my gosh. What a way to start the week. Congratulations. We're going to say goodbye to James, too. We'll be seeing him again, folks. Take care. So long. We are dealing with international disputes. Players, here's your clue. A dispute over Itorofu, Habomai, Kunashiri, and Shikotan has kept these two countries from ever signing a World War II peace treaty. You have 30 seconds. Good luck. Francois, we start with you. You were in third place in this match today, and you came up against two players who were really fast on that signaling device. But you came up with the correct response. What are Japan and Russia? And what did you risk today? 1,600. You double your score to 3,200. And yesterday you accumulated 1,800. That gives you a two-day total of 5,000. Now we come to James. He was in second place today, going into final with 17,785. Did he come up with Japan and Russia? He did indeed. What did he wager today? 9,812. That gives him a total of 27,597 for today. We add that to the 49,326 from yesterday, and that gives you a two-day total of 76,923. Over to Emma. 21,600 going into the final today. Looking for Japan and Russia. Finding Japan and Russia. What did you wager today? 17,000. That brings you up to 38,600. Yesterday, you had 26,400, giving you a two-day total of 65,000. That'll get bumped up to 100,000. But James Holzhauer, congratulations. You've just won $250,000. Enjoy the moment. What a match. What a match. $50,000 for Francois. Congratulations. Hey. Way to go. Speaking of going, that's what we're doing. We'll see you all on Monday. Take care, everybody. Hope you enjoyed the tournament. We did. We are dealing with 21st century Oscar winners. Gentlemen, your clue. These two foreign-born directors have each won 2 Best Director Oscars, but none of their films has won Best Picture. All right, we'll come to James first. He had 7,400. He wrote down, who is the greatest host of syndicated TV? Oh, thank you.
Thank you. So you're losing 908 points. And you wrote down there, who is the Gogh's greatest host of syndicated TV, and you started to write Pat Sajak, is that right?
What?
I wish you had risked more points. You dropped down to 64.92, and we add that to what you accumulated earlier this evening in the first game. That was 27,200. So that gives you a two-game total of 33,692. Now we go down to Brad Rutter. He had 10,000. He wrote down who?
NSL Hombre. And a little tribute to the Eagles.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome you to the Jeopardy Comedy Hour. Let's see how many points Brad lost. 41-33, dropping him down to 5,867. In game one earlier this evening, you had accumulated 17,600. That gives you a match total of 23,467. Now over to Ken.
I'm going to do a tight 5 minutes on airline food before we...
What did you put down as your response? Did you get it? Who are Ang Lee and Gonzalez Inarritu? No, Ang Lee is correct, but Inarritu, his film did become the Oscar-winning Best Picture of the Year. The correct response is Ang Lee and Alfonso Cuarón. So it's costing you how many points? 1,200 points? Doesn't really matter, does it? 16,400. In the first game, you had accumulated 51,200. You have just won your second match. The end of the match is not a foregone conclusion, in spite of these scores you see here. We'll get rid of those scores right now. We will, of course, add them to whatever the...
Hey, Brad's score's still on there.
It's gotten to be that kind of competition, hasn't it? This final is Shakespeare's tragedies. Fellas, here's your clue. He has 272 speeches, the most of any non-title character in a Shakespeare tragedy. Brad, we come to you first. Did you come up with a correct response to our final? You're the best, Alex. Thank you so much.
It's true, and I should get credit for it.
Okay. What did you risk?
Zero anyway.
Nothing. So you earn 1,400 points today. Earlier, you did not earn anything at all, so 1,400 is your total for the match. Now we come to Ken Jennings. His response was, who is Iago? That is the correct response. Your wager? Nothing. Interesting. All right, that gives you 23,000 today. Earlier, you had 65,600. That gives you a total for the match of 88,600 as we come to James Holzhauer, who could win the match. He had 44,000. Did he come up with Iago? He did not. And it doesn't matter, your wager, 44,000. Ken Jennings, that's the best you are the champion.
Congratulations. That was a heck of a match.
Nice job.
That's for me.
The greatest of all time. Congratulations. It has taken 15 years for Ken Jennings to finally answer the question, is he as good as he appeared to be in that great run on Jeopardy? Brad, James, come on over here, please. The greatest of all time Jeopardy champion.
Final Jeopardy with the final category, African monarchs. Here is your clue. Some devotees of this emperor, who died in 1975, trace his lineage to King Solomon and the Queen of Sheba. Elizabeth Devereaux, 12,400. What was your response? What is emperor? I'm sorry, that's not correct. And you wagered 12,130. leaving you with $270. Josh Sack with $19,800. What is your response? Who is Haile Selassie? That is correct, Haile Selassie. He traced his lineage to Menelik, called the son of King Solomon and the Queen of Sheba. What did you wager? $5,005, bringing you to $24,805. And now Matt Amodio, $20,200. What was your response? Yes, you have it as well. Who is Selassie? How much did you wager? $20,200, bringing you to $40,400. You are the new Jeopardy champion. Congratulations to you all.
Welcome back to Final Jeopardy. It is possible that our champion, Matt Amodio, could go over $1 million here, but first, let's look at the clue from the category History of the 19 Teens. Here's your clue. Saying he ignored warnings of enemy vessels, the British Admiralty sought to blame William Turner, this ship's last captain, in 1915. All right, Troy Posey-Rikidis, you have $7,200. Let's see what you came up with. What is the Lusitania? We're going to accept that spelling. Yes, that is correct. The combination UI can give us the oo sound, as in the final cruise of the Lusitania. Well done. Let's see how much you're going to add. Wow, $7,200. So that is going to take you to $14,400. And let's go over to our champ, Matt Amodio, starting at $31,800. This is a very, very big moment. Did you come up with Lusitania? Yes, you did. And did you make a big wager? $17,000. Your total for today is $48,800, bringing you to a 28-day total of $1,004,001. Congratulations, you are our Jeopardy champion again. Thank you so much, and we will see you next time. Time for Final Jeopardy. The category is Renaissance Men. Here's the clue. 10 years before a more famous work, he wrote in 1503 that the way to deal with rebels is to placate them or eliminate them. Elizabeth Mitchell, you went into Final Jeopardy with $2,200. What was your response? Who is Voltaire? Unfortunately, that is not correct. How much is that going to cost you? $2,000. That'll bring you down to $200. We'll move on to Mike Howard. What did you come up with? Machiavelli is correct. We'll accept that spelling. Laid the groundwork for the ideas in his 1513 treatise, The Prince. What are we going to add to your score? $201. All right, that leaves you $4,401. And now to our champ, Matt Amodio. Did you come up with Machiavelli? Who is Machiavelli? We already know you're our Jeopardy champion. The question is, how much did you wager? $37,000. Well, Matt, that gives you $83,000. This is your single biggest payday of your run. And you now have a 34-day total of $1,350,801. Congratulations. What a huge day. What a great way to start the week. Welcome back to what is going to be a very exciting Final Jeopardy round. For the first time in his 39 appearances, Matt Amodio is in third place. So it all comes down to this, the category Countries of the World. Here's your clue. Nazi Germany annexed this nation and divided it into regions of the Alps and the Danube. The Allies later divided it into 4 sectors. We come first to our champion, Matt Amodio. You have $10,600. What was your response? What is Poland? Unfortunately, that's not correct. What's that going to cost you? $5,000. You have $5,600. We come now to Jessica Stevens with $14,400. And your response? What is Austria? That is correct. What did you wager? Wow. Everything but $1. That will take you up to $28,799. That puts you in the lead for the moment. Jonathan Fisher at $14,600. Did you come up with Austria? You did. We know that's correct. But did you bid enough to put you in first place? You did. This takes you to $29,200. You are our new Jeopardy champion. Congratulations. And we have to say goodbye to Matt Amodio with an unbelievable 38-day winning streak. That is one for the books. It has been an honor and a pleasure to watch you here. Congratulations. What a way to start the week. Let's see what happens tomorrow. We'll see you then. Wow, wow, wow.
Congratulations.
Everybody take a deep breath.
My water's empty. So I'll see you in 37 games. I will fly to Yale.
Congratulations, that was quite a game.
Thank you.
Quite a game.
Yeah, wow. Well deserved. It was really good. Thank you, man.
One for the record books,
It's
really.
nice to meet you.
It's been really a pleasure to watch all of this unfold. It's been really remarkable.
Possibility for a big payday today. Here's your clue in the category Final Resting Places, players. A cemetery on this island has the graves of Robert Fulton and 2 of the first 4 Treasury secretaries. Might help here to think about who some of those early Treasury secretaries were. We'll start in the middle with Max McDonald, who had 6,800 going into final. He wrote down, what is Martha's Vineyard? Sorry, that's not correct. You will lose almost all of it, $2, just in case. Amy Schneider was in second place with 19,600. Her island, what is Manhattan? Albert Gallatin and Alexander Hamilton buried Trinity Churchyard, downtown New York City. You will add how much? Quite a bit, taking you to 31,600. You are now in the lead. Andrew He, 5-day returning champion. What did you write down? Little head shake. Oh, what is Ellis Island? You're going to drop down 12,401, which means Amy Schneider with $31,600. You are our new Jeopardy champion. Our last final Jeopardy of the week is in the category 20th century nonfiction. Here's the clue. Norwegian Independence Day and A Vast Blue Sea are mentioned in Chapter 1 of a 1948 book by this man. Patsy Lester in the middle had $1,000. Who was the author you thought of? Who was Winston Churchill? Sorry, that's incorrect. You're going to lose half of it, leaving you with 500. Sean Sweeney in second place with 2,790 wrote down, who is Hemingway? I'm afraid that's also incorrect. You're going to drop down to $290. We come to Amy Schneider, our champion. Which writer did she think of? Who is Heyerdahl? Yes, that's correct. In 1947, a Norwegian scientist named Thor Heyerdahl took his raft, the Kon-Tiki, across the Pacific just to prove that it could be done. So you're going to add how much? $9,800. Your total today, $42,200. And a 28-day total of $1,019,600. Amy Schneider, you are just the 5th millionaire in Jeopardy history and only the 4th to do it in regular season play. What a week, what a champion. How long can she keep it going? Join us Monday, we'll find out. Take care. Words in American history for Final Jeopardy today. Here's the clue. The 1890 census reported that the unsettled area has been so broken into that there can hardly be said to be a this. Patrick Lackey, you had $3,000. Which word did you come up with? You wrote down, what is the West, but crossed it out and wrote frontier. Yes, 1890 was the first year when the Census Bureau did not officially designate frontier areas because the West was so settled. You're going to add another $2,000, taking you to $5,000. We come to our champion, Amy Schneider, who had $46,400, a personal best for you. Did she come up with the frontier? She did. How much will she add? Wow, $25,000. That's a personal best, $71,400. Certainly gold medal worthy, and a 37-day total of $1,253,200. If there's a Jeopardy Olympian, you are one of them. How will she finish the week? Tune in tomorrow and find out. Thanks all. For Final Jeopardy today, countries of the world is the category. Here's the clue. The only nation in the world whose name in English ends in an H, it's also one of the 10 most populous. 30 seconds, good luck. We'll start in the middle with Janice Hawthorne Tim in third place. Could you come up with a country?
I did not.
What is, maybe it was going to be Syria?
Syria, but
not correct. You're going to lose $500, takes you down to $2,700. Rowan Talsma played well, found the daily double when he needed it. Did you come up with the right country? What is Bangladesh? That's a tough one, and that is correct. You will add $12,000, $29,600. You now have a narrow $2,000 lead over our champion, Amy Schneider. Did she come up with Bangladesh? You looked at this for a long time. No response. You're going to lose $8,000. You're going to finish in second place with $19,600. Rowan Talsma, you are our new Jeopardy champion with a one-day total of $29,600. Congratulations to you. Amy Schneider, congratulations. What a run. Thank you for the 2 months you spent with us. It was very special. It was remarkable. We'll be seeing you again in the Tournament of Champions. And we'll be seeing all of you tomorrow. Anything can happen on Jeopardy. Join us then.
2002, 600.
This dance anthem by Pink says, "We'll be looking flashy in my Mercedes-Benz." Matt?
What's hot in here?
No. Amy?
What is I'm Coming Out?
No. Matea?
What is Get the Party Started?
There we go.
One of my favorite songs from when I was like 4. 2002, 8.
2002, 1000.
Lose Yourself has the meta lyrics, and there's no movie. There's no this actor. This is my life. Amy?
Who is Mekhi Phifer?
Good for 1,000.
All right. One of my favorite songs when I was 27.
Number 1000.
Buzz Lightyear announces feats of daring do by exclaiming this 4-word phrase, and that's saying a lot. Amy?
What is To Infinity and Beyond?
Yes.
Number, please, 800.
The nonprofit, nonpartisan news service known as the This Number covers the state of U.S. education. Matt?
What's 50?
No, but it's an exhibition game. Guess a number. Amy or Matea? Amy?
What is 7?
No. In fact, Matt was closer. Matea?
Screw it. What's 503?
74. What is 74? Back to you, Amy.
Number 600.
There's a period before this number that comes before special in the name of Donnie Van Zant's high-caliber 1970s rock band. Matt?
What's 38?
Yes.
Number 4.
Normally, the human body contains this number of chromosomal pairs. Amy?
What is 23?
That's correct. I don't know if you noticed, but the numbers in that category, 40, 23, 38, and 74, which is larger than all of them.
No.
Oh. We'll just pretend. Amy, select again.
I'll do number, please, for 200.
Let's see if you know this one. Matthew 4 says Jesus fasted for this many days and nights in the wilderness, and he was hungry after. Well, yeah. Matt?
What's 40?
That's correct. Now, I suspect you didn't notice this. The numbers that were the responses in that category, 40, 23, 38, and then 74, which is larger than any of them, may be of specific relevance to your Jeopardy. This all-important final Jeopardy category, plays. And here's the clue. The January 12th, 1864 Washington Evening Star reported on a performance of this dashing comedy to a full and delighted house. Sam Buttrey, a hard-fought tournament in the mix in almost every game, has one win heading into final today. What was your response, sir? What is our mutual friend? You're along the right lines, but I'm afraid that's not correct. It will cost you everything, dropping you down to 0. Andrew Heed narrowly in second place with $14,200. His response? What is Our American Cousin? Yes, that's the name of the play that Abraham Lincoln saw on the night of his assassination. Our Mutual Friend is a Dickens novel. What was Andrew's wager? Small wager, $2,801. He is now in the lead by just $1,401. It all comes down to Amy Schneider. She had the lead with $15,600. Did she know it was Our American Cousin? She did. Now, on Friday's show, you were correct but made a small wager. What was the wager today? $13,000. Amy Schneider, that's your third win. You've won our $250,000 grand prize. Andrew Heed in second place wins $100,000. For third place, Sam Buttrey wins $50,000. Well played, all three of you. Final Jeopardy category is USA. Here is the clue. Opened in 1909 and less famous than an older neighbor, it connects Brooklyn and Chinatown. James Holzhauer had a big lead and wrote down his response very quickly while I was still reading the clue. What bridge did he think of? Stop ducking a rematch, Ken. You know how much work I had to go to get all the way over here at this lectern and avoid having to play you again, James?
This is auto-corrected, by the way.
I'm afraid I cannot give you credit. Well, your heart's in the right place. See, it's not in the form of a question. Fictional places is going to be our second final Jeopardy category tonight. Let's reveal the clue for our masters. The dominions of this land extend 5,000 blustrugs, about 12 miles in circumference. James Holzhauer had a big lead. Did he know it was Lilliput? What's it like to know James Holzhauer, Ken? Well, it's in the form of a question, but it's not correct. I would say these 30-minute interactions we have are the perfect amount of time to know you, James. And I mean every word of it. The final Jeopardy category, 19th century first ladies. Players, here's the clue. After her husband left office, a minister wrote, "The White House was purer because this first lady has been its mistress." James Holzhauer had a big lead, 24,805 points. Did he know it was Lemonade Lucy? If Ken falls in the forest and no one's around, does it make a dad joke? James, don't make me come over there. I know you've got the bell.
Oh, yeah. Let's go. Let's go, buddy. Come on.
I don't think I have any weapons at all at my lectern. I'm not going to be able to give you any points there. Let's see what you wagered. 806, knocking you down to 23,999. Masters, here's your clue in the category landmarks. For more than a millennium, a huge embroidered work known as the Kiswa has been used to adorn and protect this structure. I have no hope that James Holzhauer actually attempted a response here, but surprise me. Is there no one else? Other than you, I assume?
Is there no one else?
Humble as always. James Holzhauer and Matt Amodio tied exactly as we head into Final Jeopardy. Western Hemisphere history is the category. This is the clue. In 1915, the assassination of President Sam brought Uncle Sam to this country, beginning a 19-year military occupation. We'll come to James Holzhauer second with 28,400. Let's see what he wrote down. He crossed out Haiti and wrote down Nicaragua. James, Haiti was right. We were talking about Jean-Vilbrun Guillaume Sam. So you're going to lose all of it, dropping you down to zero. Wow. Matt Amodio also had $28,400. Did he get Haiti? He also put Nicaragua. Did he also wager everything? 1,000 points, dropping you down to 27,400 points.
Literary 8.
The answer there is the Daily Double in the round. You have 2,000 points, Andrew, and could double it if so inclined.
I'll bet 2,000 plus all of James's points.
Yeah, I think James's score is still on there, actually. It all comes down to this. Everything depends on our contestants' responses in the category Latin in literature. Let's show them the clue. A work by this 15th century English writer quotes the phrase, "Rex quondam rexque futurus." We'll begin with Matt Amodio in third place with 3,200. His response? Who will win? Matt's building the suspense. I think the third place contestant should always be a hype man in Final Jeopardy. I like it. We can't give you credit, Matt. You wagered nothing at all. So you'll stay at 3,200 in this game. And when we add in the 12,000 points you earned in the previous game, that brings you to 15,200. James Holzhauer, well behind in second place with 9,600 points. His response? Who is T.H. White? No, I'm sorry. It's too early for T.H. White. So your wager of 119 points will drop you down to 94.81. But when we add in the 34,314 you earned in the first half of tonight's match. That brings you to 43,795. Mateo Roach had a big lead, 22,800, but they're shaking their head a little bit. Their response? Who is Chaucer? No, I'm afraid that's incorrect. Rex quondam, rexque futurus means the once and future king, talking about King Arthur. This is Thomas Mallory on the Arthurian legends. So let's see what you wagered, Matea. Their bet 59.15 drops them down to 16,885. When we add the 24,800 they earned in the first half, it's not quite enough. That brings them to 41,685. James Holzhauer, they tested you to the limit. But you are our first ever Jeopardy Masters champion.
You played amazingly. Your dad's so proud of you. I'm on too.
Come join me over here, James. The first ever winner of the Trebek Trophy. Congratulations. And a $500,000 prize. Mateo Roach finishes in second place with 250,000 American dollars. And it's 150,000 for Matt Amodio in third place. It was an honor to watch you three play. What a match. Congratulations. Top Stars, a fun Final Jeopardy category after a very serious game. Here's the clue. In 2022, she became the first woman to have a Billboard Top 10 album in 5 decades, starting with the 1980s. We'll start on the end. The champ had $1,800. Through no fault of his own, just the blistering buzzing of Andrew and Yogesh. What response did you come up with, Connor? Who is Madonna? That's correct after 2022's Finally Enough Love. So you're going to add to your 1,800? 223. You have 2,023. Happy New Year. Andrew Watley in second place with 20,800. Boy, we could have a big payout today. Did he know it was Madonna? He is correct. Did he wager much? Oh, he wagered nothing at all. Interesting. You have 20,800. So it's all going to come down to Yogesh. Did he know it was Madonna? Who is Madonna? What was the wager? Wow, 10,801. You beat James Holzhauer in High School Quiz Bowl, and now you've won on Jeopardy too. $41,601. Category is historic art, and here's the clue. The artwork once known in France as La Tapisserie de la Reine Mathilde is better known as this. Christina Mosley at the end had a respectable $9,600 heading into final. What historic art did you write down, Christina? What is the Mona Lisa? I'm sorry, that's not correct today. You wagered $5,000, dropping you down to $4,600. Kyle Daly in second place with $16,800. His response? What is La Demoiselle d'Avignon by Picasso? I'm afraid that's not correct either. You're going to lose, all of it, dropping you down to 0. Yogesh Raut had the lead with 26,600. Will this be the 61st clue today that someone answers correctly? Yogesh wrote down, what is the Bayeux Tapestry? Yes, tapisserie, French for tapestry. So you're going to be adding to that already impressive score, Yogesh. How much? 7,001. Wow, for 33,601 on the day. And a 2-day total of $75,202. We are browsing in the bookstore in Final Jeopardy today. Close game. Here's the clue. The name of this author, dead since 2013, now appears on books written by a former U.S. Marshal and a former Apache helicopter pilot. Yogesh Raut in second place for the first time in his 3 games with us, had $19,000. What was his response? Who is Tom Clancy? That's correct. Mark Cameron now writes the Jack Ryan novels. Don Bentley writes the Jack Ryan Jr. novels. How much will you add? Just 2201. So you now have 21,201. You have the lead by a buck. So it all comes down to Michael Cavalier. You looked at this for a long time, sir. You wrote down, oh no, who is Heller? Not correct. You wagered 16,801. You have 4,399. The third game curse is broken. Yogesh Raut, you're a 3-day Jeopardy champion with $96,403. These 3 nearly superhuman Jeopardy players are dealing with the human body in final today. Here's the clue. This glandular organ that starts to shrink at puberty is known for being where the cells key to adaptive immunity develop. We'll begin with Ben Chan in third place after that tough daily double. He had $3,200. What did you come up with, Ben? What is the thymus? Ben Chan does not miss in Final Jeopardy. Yes, the T cells of the immune system are named for the thymus gland, which means you're going to add whatever you wagered, $3,200. You double up to $6,400. Yogesh Raut was in second place with $16,600. Did he come up with the thymus? No, what is spleen? That's not right. His wager? $3,201. We'll drop him down to $13,399. So it's up to Troy Meyer, who had the lead, $19,800. What is the thymus? What is pituitary? No. He wagered $13,401, dropping him down to third, $6,399. And that is 3 wins for Yogesh Raut, the winner of this Tournament of Champions. Congratulations, Yogesh. As our winner, Yogesh receives $250,000. Ben will have $100,000 for finishing in second. Troy, $50,000 in third. Congratulations to all 3 of you. What a finals. After 9 Jeopardy Masters episodes and more than 1,000 clues, it all comes down to 1. And with the scores as they are, anyone can still win. Final Jeopardy category is paintings. Here's the clue. The artist saw this subject as a kindred spirit, and in 1890, depicted him with flowers used to treat heart disease. We'll begin with Victoria Gross, who had 11,000 points in Game 2 coming into Final Jeopardy. Her response? She wrote down, "Who is Dr. Gachet?" And that is correct. The friend of Van Gogh and his famous portrait of the doctor. What did you wager, Victoria? She wagered everything, taking her to 22,000. When we add her 14,400 points from Game 1, she now has 36,400 points. And the lead over Juveria and Yogesh for the moment. Juveria will come to you next. Did you think about Van Gogh and Dr. Gachet? She's right as well. What was the wager? 16,000, taking Juveria to 36,800 points. She now has a 400-point lead over Victoria. Look how close this is. Yogesh Raut, it all comes down to whether you knew Dr. Gachet. Your response is correct. What was the wager? 5601 puts Yogesh at 41,601. And in an extraordinarily close final, Yogesh emerges as the winner of this year's Jeopardy Masters. $500,000 prize and the Trebek Trophy are yours, Yogesh. Congratulations. Juveria, you finish in second place with $250,000. Well done. Victoria, well played, $150,000 for you. Thank you for being with us this year on Jeopardy Masters. What a final. Have a great night.
Mm-hmm.